got loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, it's born like this, immaculate.
Welcome back to another episode of Jimmy's Playoff Predictions. Today's predictions is for the championship game. This one's worth all the marbles, the bragging rights, and the ability to wear the sweet championship belt. Today we have number 5 seed Rivera going up against number 3 seed Barnes. Rivera comes into the championship game with a 7-6 record during the regular season. Playoff wins over Paulie and a surprising win over Hoffey put him in this chance to knock off the powerhouse Barnes, who comes in with a regular season record of 9 wins and 4 losses after beating Bilbo and last year's champion Winch in the playoffs so far. Barnes is a whopping 35-point favorite, but David did slay Goliath, so anything can happen. Rivera has proven that he can beat Barnes, as he did in the Week 6 matchup. But if you look back over the last 8 weeks, Rivera has only outscored Barnes once during that time. It'll definitely be interesting, and let's go to some expert analysts to see how this one could play out. Joining us once again is expert analysis Kellen Hinton. Hello, Kellen.
Hi.
Kellen, today's matchup, the championship game, all out on the line for these two guys. Who do you feel is going to win, Rivera or Barnes?
I think #Savage Rivera.
He's going with Savage Rivera. Why do you think Rivera is going to take this one?
Because Cam Newton is Superman.
You think he really is Superman?
Yes.
Yes, he's going to win it all for him. Yes?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, can we get a score prediction?
I think 102 to 90.
90?
Uh-huh.
102 for Rivera, 90. Barnes is only going to put up 90 points, he's saying. And last question, Kellen. What do you think of the team name Philip My Mouth with Farts?
Well, why would you fill someone's mouth with farts? Why would you fart in someone's mouth?
I think Barnes kind of likes that. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still pretty funny though, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks, Kellen.
You're welcome.
Also joining us, he seems to always be able to make time for us, is the one and only Landon Hinton. Hello, Landon.
Hi.
I see you're sporting your new rec specs.
Yep.
Nice. Now, championship game matchup. We've got #Savage Rivera against Philip My Mouth with Farts Barnes. Who do you think's going to win?
Philip My Mouth with Farts Barnes.
Do you think that just because it's a funny name?
No,
Okay, why do you think Barnes is going to win?
because his team is better.
For instance, what? Like, what do you specifically like about his team?
His quarterbacks are good, and his wide receivers.
Yep, they're loaded, huh? Score prediction?
154 to 137.
Ooh, Rivera keeps it somewhat close. 154 to 137. Okay, last but not least, any comments for Philip My Mouth with Farts' name?
Funny.
It's funny, yeah. Thanks, Landon. Oh, man, thanks, guys. Man, bunch of cute kids there. Next up, let's check in with the one and only Shoopy. Shoopy, what's your take in this championship matchup?
Good. And in the championship game, the game that really matters, not the toilet bowl. I'm looking at Barnes, otherwise known as Philip My Mouth with Farts. And very ingenious name. You get points for that one, Barnes. I'll give you credit for that one. And I'm looking at his quarterbacks. I see Drew Brees and Big Ben, otherwise known as the Senior Citizens Club of America, so you may want to look to unload those players soon. However, props for having them this year. They're doing well. And I'm seeing them going up against Atlanta and Houston. I'm seeing a shootout in in New Orleans, and Big Ben taking it to Houston early. Anytime you have Shady McCoy going up against New England, you know Shady's going to roll. Ingram, Fournette, I don't even know where to start with these players. I mean, these are players that are elite in every level. And as long as Fournette can keep his nose clean, he's going to dominate San Francisco. I'm looking at DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Thomas. What can I say? I mean, aside if you had Alshon Jeffrey on your team, or Will Fuller on your team, because whoever has Will Fuller, he's going to kill this league next year. He will kill it. Did you hear me? I'm telling you, Will Fuller will take it to the house next year. Sorry, I got excited whenever I talk about Watson or Fuller, because whoever has those guys is going to kick some major butt next year. But regardless, I'm looking at Julio Jones and Antonio, and they're on your bench. And then there's Gronk. And of course, Gronk is just Gronk. So regardless, I'm looking at that team, and maybe I should just fill up my mouth with farts, because really, this team looks studly. Y ahora vamos a hablar sobre Rivera. Hombre, yo soy un paisano. No deje que esos...
Whoa. English, buddy. English.
Don't let those... No dejen que los ingleses le da mierda. Okay, we're back, Rivera. Don't worry, I'm a paisan, buddy. I hear you. I feel your pain. I know your struggle. Okay, and I do know your struggle because I'm looking at your team right now going up against Barnes. Maybe you should fill up your mouth with farts as well. But regardless, I'm shooting for you. I'm going with you, buddy, because I'm looking at Cam Newton going against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is terrible. And Cam Newton is Cam Newton, and Cam Newton is going to run that team. Blake Bortles, he may not even be on Jacksonville next year. But you know what? Blake Bortles is going against San Francisco. And Blake Bortles is going to take it to the house. Frank Gore, I love Frank Gore 10 years ago. But he's going up against Baltimore. He's an old dude. I think he still has a chance. But if I'm banking on Frank Gore winning a championship for me, I'm not really sure if I'm going to take that bet. We're looking at Senor Freeman. Sorry. Hashtag random Spanish moment there. Senor Freeman. There it is again. Atlanta at New Orleans. And anytime you have Atlanta's running backs, I think you're a stud. D.D. Westbrook, A.J. Green, both solid plays. Regardless, Senor, I'm pulling for you, Senor Rivera. I'm pulling for your hashtag salvaje. That's how you say savage in Spanish for those of you who didn't pay attention in class. But regardless, I'm going with Barnes, filling my mouth with farts as the champion of this year. But I'm still rooting for you, though, Rivera, because we're paisanos. Okay.
Thanks, Shoopy. Not a big shocker with that prediction. Now it's Jimmy's turn. Let's take a look at these teams. I don't have to mention all the IR spots they got filled up. You know, it sucks that Rivera lost OBJ early in the year, but he added David Johnson. That team's going to be scary good next year. I think Adams is also out, which hurts him a little bit. But at the same time, Barnes lost Antonio Brown. You know, Eifert's there. So both teams took their hit with injuries. But let's look at the now. Let's see, quarterback matchups. Rivera's going with Blake Bortles and Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton's going to put up, high 20s, even the 30s, and Rivera's going to need it. Blake Bortles, you're also going to have to put up what you did last week to keep Rivera in this game. Barnes is going with Drew Brees and Big Ben. They're going to both put up 20 plus. Actually, I think Rivera's quarterback score, so I'm going to put this as a wash. The running back position, not so much. Rivera's got like 1.5 running backs. Freeman's going to score pretty well, but he's going against Barnes's three-headed monster of McCoy, Ingram, and Fournette. I think big advantage goes to Barnes in that one. Wide receiver, do I even have to mention this position? I mean, Rivera's receivers are pretty solid. Landry, Stills, and Green, but they're going to have to put up monster games. And Miami's going to have to put up a huge number if both Rivera's Miami receivers are going to put up manageable points. Barnes can roll in Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, and that's with Brown injured and Julio on the bench. Oh my gosh, that's disgustingly good. Big advantage goes to Barnes in this one as well. Looking at tight end, and I know both these guys like a nice tight end. Rivera goes with ASJ and picked up Antonio Gates after Howard got injured. He's going to have to go against Barnes' Gronk and Doyle. Big advantage, again, to Barnes. Defense, pretty much a wash. I'll give the Rivera edge on this one. Bears defense, they could probably hold Cleveland, put up a, probably an 8. Redskins, hopefully Denver can put up some points. It's not going to be much, but slight advantage to Rivera. Tucker, that's all you need to say. Big advantage to Savage. Best kicker in the league, Justin Tucker all day, baby. But that's not going to manage to keep this game close. Now, Barnes is a huge favorite, but I'm going to go with Rivera. PA, baby. You heard it here first. So we hope you enjoyed these predictions, whether you're rooting for fill up my mouth with farts
Go Forts!
or hashtag savage.
Hashtag savage.
We wish you the best of luck this year. Wait, one more thing. Did I really pick Rivera? No, just kidding. My prediction would be Barnes is going to win 157, 134. Sorry, Rivera. Maybe by me picking you, like reverse psychology like last week. Go PA. Thanks for watching. No matter who you're rooting for, have a safe and relaxing Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain,
So,
and joy
Shoopy,
inside my
who would you say is the best team name?
Team name? Say after some serious contemplation, taking a good look, and giving every team name the respect that it deserves, or doesn't deserve, put it that way, I've rounded down to 3. One of them that I absolutely love is Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, because honestly that's a very ingenious name. Barnes, I give you credit for that one. Second one I really like is Saved by the Bell, because I love that show and I love Kelly Kapowski when I was a little kid. Well, younger, put it that way. Not a little kid, but regardless. The third one is because it honors the top tight end in the National Football League, and that individual is Mr. Ertz. So, ouch, it hurts my cob, and honestly, whoever has Mr. Ertz, Zach, God bless the rest of you, because he's ready to dominate for the next 10 years. As far as name itself is concerned, though, putting aside, player names, I'm going with Saved by the Bell.
Nice. Question number 2. Without meeting any of these people, and obviously besides myself, who would you say you love the most?
Well, there's two. The person I would say is Reese, and I'm going to tell you 2 reasons. First of all, I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So anyone who has the name Reese, obviously, is going to get props from me. Secondly, it's because I'm going to spell his name R-E-E-S-E, Eagles. That's why, Reese, right here.
Question number 3. Same question, but who would you say you dislike without ever meeting them?
Well, when I played soccer back in the day, there was a guy on one of the other teams that used to play against one of our rivals, and his name was Colin, and I couldn't stand him. So anyone named Colin, God bless their parents. That's all I have to say.
And 4, who has the best young team that's ready to dominate for the next 5 years?
Well, I'm going to go back a little bit to what talking about Reese and how Ajayi is one of the top running backs, but I'm going to say the top running back who's not a Philadelphia Eagle has to be Kamara. So whoever has Kamara, I'm looking at that, and I'm saying that honestly, it's probably ouch, it hurts my cob. That's got to be the team that's going to take it to the next level, because Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, Kamara, forget it. That whole team in itself is ready to dominate. How do you spell dynasty? Ouch, it hurts my cob.
Oh, I definitely agree. Thanks, you.
Loyalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain.